What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld. Today we're going to be talking about a specific question that was asked of me by somebody that really is, he's interested in understanding. If Madden 19 is so terrible, why don't the statistics show it? And when you're talking about statistics, you're talking about something that people put together based on the sales of a game, a lot of other things that go into it, how much money it makes and everything like that. So when you look at Madden 19, first of all, EA Sports has the exclusive license for the NFL, all right? And a lot of you guys don't really seem to understand the politics with that, but that's a huge thing to have. If you have exclusive rights to anything and people want to use that said thing, you're going to make a lot of money. That's just the nature of the business. That's just capitalism. That's just the way things work. So pretty much what happens is this, right? You guys are concerned with the fact that I point out certain things that are wrong with the game, but I still play the game. And I understand that most people don't have common sense, so they don't understand exactly what's going on. So I'm going to do my best to break it down for you. This game is going to be the best-selling game for the NFL because they're the only people that are allowed to use the NFL likenesses. All right? So when you look at, let's say, for instance, like NBA 2K, right? Let's look at that game. When NBA 2K was, starting to take over the market, what was it, like 12, 13, NBA 2K 13, 14, whatever like that, you noticed that EA Sports took some time off with live. Why was that? It was competition. Now, though the last NBA 2K game that I really liked, I believe it was 14. I think that's what it was because I played in like a tournament with it and I was pretty good with it. And I really, really liked it, right? So I'm going to go back to that one. During those times, NBA Live was lacking. They weren't really, I don't know how to really explain it, but it wasn't as good as it could have been because remember, back on the original PlayStation, Live was GOAT, bruh. Live was literally that, I'm telling you right now, glitchy. All out glitchy, bruh. I used to play Live for hours and hours, bro. It was so good. As the game started to progress into next gen and then obviously the current gen that we are right now, it started to take a hit. A lot of the game and the way that players moved, it just wasn't as good as it should have been, and that's the the honest truth. I think that they've gotten a lot better because I played the most recent one, but it's still not as good as 2K. And 2K is not really that it's not that crazy how it used to be, leaps and bounds above whatever the situation is, but it still is better than Live at this point, in my opinion. I've played both. Obviously, I only played the demo of 2K, but I played the actual Live. Gameplay-wise, it's a lot of things that you get out of 2K that you're not really getting out of Live. I can't really explain it and break it down. I'd have to, show you both gameplays in a video and kind of show you what's going on with it. But a lot of it is just you're comfortable with it. People are comfortable with 2K, so even though Live added a lot of newer features, you're still not going to give a chance to Live because you're like, yo, it was a reason why I stepped away from Live before. All right? So me explaining that to you, showing you the difference when people both have the right to use likenesses of these NBA and NFL players, that pretty much explains a lot of what's going on. Now, that does not mean that you don't have the right to like whatever you want to like. That's not what I'm debating. What I'm debating is if EA Sports didn't have the exclusive license, would they be able to get away with a lot of the things that they're doing right now? Some of you guys play the game for different reasons. I've, interacted with a couple of you guys over my last few videos. Some of you guys like franchise. Some of you guys play offline. You guys don't really play Weekend League. You don't play MUT Draft. You don't play a lot of the online gameplay modes that most of us always have played. Going back to 04. I don't even know how many of you guys was playing Madden in 04 online. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember that. When internet was really, really wild and you had to really hope and pray that you played somebody that had a decent connection. You remember those days? And dudes would just run around with Michael Vick in the backfield, run all the way back to their goal line and then run all the way back. The stamina didn't matter. Even with the way that game was, it was way better gameplay-wise in certain aspects. Now, this game is very, very enhanced. There's a lot of features in the game where it's I hear people yo, bro, bring back 2K5. This game is so far leaps and bounds, technologically advanced over 2K5. I'm not saying that, the older games are still better. I can't say that because you can see that this game has a lot of features that 2K5 didn't have. and it has the potential to be a lot better. It's just the fact that there's little things within the game that makes it very bad. And one of the major things is that, like, the cornerback and wide receiver interactions is just not, it doesn't make any sense. It's more of like a it's like a joke. It's like NBA. It's like an NFL arcade game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense as far as the catch animations. The way that if you're running on a streak and the guy's in the cloud flat or a wheel route, the guy will just hold you up and you'll interact and, you know, wiggle your butt cheeks around and never really run by him. There's a lot of things that go on in the game that makes it kind of unbearable. But for the most part, technologically, as far as the game goes, with certain things that you can do, it's like I've debated with it many times with 2K5. I just don't see how you can say that 2K5 is a better game than Madden 19. Like that to me is foolish. As far as like I said, technology and the way that they've been able to show certain things within the game, it is a lot. This game has the potential to be one of the best games ever. But like I said, it's certain individual things. The mossing that goes on in the game, the through my body catch animations, the fact that the speed threshold is stupid. You can't burn anyone even though you have a 10 yard head start. Dudes are still right there. There's a lot of things that go on within the game that makes it like that. It's not something to where it's like, okay, the game is just trash. That's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you have when you're assessing these type of things, you have to be fair with the way that you assess it. Else, why would people listen to anything you have to say about it? It doesn't really make any sense. And that's what I try to do. When you're being objective about it, people are going to get angry on both sides. But I'm not saying anything that I can't back up based on the gameplay that I show, whether it's a live stream on Twitch or whether it's in the video that I'm showing you right now. There's a lot of glaring defects that are going on within the game that should be addressed. Now, whether they will be addressed, that's another story. That's not, you know what I'm saying? We're not here to talk about that. Like, I'm just letting you guys know that it is something that actively goes on a regular basis. All right? So, when you think about that, the only reason that you still, have the statistics that you have with the game, even though there are so many things that I'm telling you that are wrong with the game, there's nobody competing against it. So when there's no competition, what do you think's going to happen? That's why people urge, people want to know, bro, how long would they have the license, whatever, because at least somebody else will be making it. Not to say that 2K would make the better game, because I have people that absolutely are disgusted with NBA 2K. So I'm not saying that it's just going to, it's all of a sudden going to be, it's going to be the bomb. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just having somebody else be able to make it, it would generally affect the statistics behind the game. Because remember, when Madden was a really, really good game, it wasn't the same way that it is right now. Because a lot of these casuals that would play it, they would get blown out and never play it again. But because the game now is so inconsistent, that also contributes to the statistics and the showing of, why the game is that good, which is why it's very difficult for them to now say, all right, let's make the game better. Because now theoretically, it's a capitalistic society. So you want to make money. You're not going to affect your bottom line by saying, you know what, let's make that really be an interception. Let's make that really be a fumble. Because then it becomes consistent. And then you expect it. And then now the casual dude can't win. So now he's bringing his game back to GameStop. Or he's trading it back into Amazon. I don't want this. I ain't signed up for this. That's what happens. So you guys have to understand that when you're thinking about it along those lines, they're going to make the money because that's the only product that's available. I'm trying to think of other things that, we used to get or that we get right now where only one person makes it. And it's like, you got to get it from that person. It's just like, depending on what the item is, there are certain things that only specific people make that you have to use that from. If you don't do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just going to have to do without that product. Now, with the way that it goes right now, like, if you guys like MLB, a lot of you guys are playing MLB. I don't enjoy baseball. That's just me. Some of you guys do. I just don't enjoy it. So for me, it makes no sense for me to go and start playing MLB just because the stats matter in MLB. And I've been told that it's a much better gameplay experience. But if I'm not going to enjoy it, I'm not going to play it. Now, that doesn't mean that I enjoy Madden 19, but I get to play with some of my favorite players like, Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, things like that. So for that, just having the ability to be able to do that, for most people, you can kind of still go through it. Now, most of my viewers have already stopped playing Madden, or you're lying to me in the comments and letting me think that you stopped playing Madden. That's a different story. But again, even if you didn't play Madden, it doesn't matter because you're replaced with a lot of other casual players that are really enjoying it. And that's all that matters. That's the honest truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as we want to think that, yo, yeah, bro, I matter, my opinion matters. No, bro. No, it doesn't. Bro, listen, if you don't enjoy this game, that doesn't affect what they're gonna put into the next Madden. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can go ahead and voice our opinions and everything like that, but if the game is not easy to play, that I believe will truly hurt their sales. So the only real way to be able to address it is to be able to have other people that are able to make it, because then maybe you can see, all right, we can have a competitive mode. We can also have a mode where people feel better playing it that are casuals. And that way, if we choose to play on competitive mode, that's just something that we're signing up for. You see what I'm saying? Like, you could absolutely distinguish the modes. What I earn, and that's based on difficulty. All right? Like, competitive, obviously, they intercept the ball more if you play with, you play the computer, as opposed to arcade where, they drop picks and they always fumble if you hit stick them. These are certain things that we've all noticed throughout the year that it can be addressed. And, maybe all the modes should play with the same speed, just have different difficulty. And, if it's competitive, they're gonna play differently. They're gonna react differently. The zones are gonna do what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? If it's arcade mode, all right, moss me. You know what I'm saying? Do me dirty. It doesn't matter because it's arcade mode. But those are the things that heavily affect the way that a lot of people feel about Madden. But that doesn't mean that they're going to change anything, because statistically, when you look at the top selling games, they've been top 10, like Madden 16 and on. They've been top 10. But I think as far as sports games go, since they've been, they've had the exclusive license, they've been always up there with sports games. But they've been doing a lot better since they came out with the all the new catch modes and the catch animations. I mean, the possession catch, the rack catch, the aggressive catch. Since that has come out, people have, I see more people playing Madden than ever. It's not allowed in like my barbershop anymore because people get very, very violent with it. But, as far as kids go, when you go to GameStop to go get it at launch day or whatever like that, these kids are psyched about this game. They can't wait to aggressive catch you. They can't wait. Bruh, right now, if you were to tell somebody like, yo, I'll blow you out of Madden, you got to be very, very careful who you're saying that to. You have to be very, very careful, and you guys know what I'm talking about. You remember back in the day when you'd be like, yo, whatever, any amount, drop it on the table, let's do it. You can't do that no more. Because that 4-year-old that slapped you in your face and said that I'm about to play you in Madden, he might beat you. And you might be saying, like, how did he slap you in the face? Dude got a ladder, came over running off at the mouth, came and slapped you clean in the face. Like, yo, let's go. Yo, turn the game on. Imagine that with any other Madden prior to 15. Like, even with 15, because 15 you had really good user control as well. But just imagine that happening in prior Maddens. Not going to happen. It wouldn't happen because the game played differently. Okay, now with MUT and a lot of the things that go into them making their money, I think the additional thing of having everything not be consistent and random has helped them a lot. And it's the honest truth. There's no excuse for playing somebody that you're way better than, that'll just beat you, and then you'll play them again and blow them out by 60. In previous Maddens, you would just blow them up by 60 every time. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference with it. So statistically, for those of you guys that had the real inquiry into it, like, yo, Gmias, can you just explain that to me? I just looked it up, whatever like that. I've said it before periodically in a lot of different videos, but I have no issue from time to time explaining to you guys why this happens so you guys can know and realize. It's just like anything else in the world. If something makes money, you're not going to change it. So they've been trying to kind of appease everybody, all right? But they're going to gear towards the casuals because the casuals are the ones that's going to be like, you know what? All right, yeah, that just happened, but I'm going to still play Madden after I got blown out that one game because I know in the next game, if I throw it in the quadruple coverage, it's a chance that my player might catch it. That's what sells. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's going to continue to go on. And, you know, we may have some things that may be adjusted in the future, but as long as that is something that they can get away with, that they can say, you know what, I have a chance in this game, the statistics are always going to show that Madden is a top-selling game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very basic. Some people are going to be very, very angry as it continues to go on, but that's the minority right now. The majority of these younger kids coming up thinking that they're the rawest kids ever in Madden. I'm telling you right now, bro, I got young dudes like running up on me whenever I go out. Like, yo, bro, I remember, yo, whatever, let's get it. Like, what? You really want to play me in Madden? Like, yeah, let's go right now. I'm like, what? But, yo, listen, but again, they have a chance that they're going to blow me out. It's a very, very high chance that they're going to blow me out. So I got to just do what I have to do for myself and family and run away. Because I know if I get mossed, like, nobody's going to understand what's going to happen after that. Like, to lose a game on a straight-up moss is like the worst feeling ever. And that's what makes Madden 19 sell. And that's why, although the gameplay has been terrible, statistically, it has shown that it's a lot better than what we view the game as. Hopefully this has been informative and you kind of have an understanding of what's going on. If you would like, go ahead and like the video. You see the way I use like twice so that it can stay in your brain and you'll actually like it. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at GmiasWorld. And I'll see you guys and girls next time. One love.